Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're coming to us from today. My name is Mickey Collart. I'm a marketing manager here with ARM Treasure Data, and we want to welcome you to our inaugural beta release webinar. We are doing this for the first time, but before we get started today, I just wanted to go over a couple of housekeeping items here on the GoToWebinar platform. We'll have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation, but that shouldn't keep you from putting in questions at any point in time that you have them during the presentation. There's a questions panel that is on your control panel. That should have popped up for you on the GoToWebinar platform. As well, we have an attached slide deck. So the full presentation that we'll be going through today will be available for download. And then, of course, we'll be sending this presentation out to all of our registrants, as well as putting it up on our website, treasuredata.com, under the resources section. So if you don't get to stay throughout the presentation or want to pass this on to a colleague later on, that will be available to you on our website. And without further ado, I'd like to just go ahead and get started with our agenda today. So we're definitely going to give you a preview into what's in the current release for Winter 19. We'll also give you a live demonstration of those new features and capabilities. We want to introduce you to our beta program formally and have you understand how you can participate now for this current quarter and upcoming releases. And then we'll give you a sneak peek at what's coming next and what will be available for you to test. So I'm joined today by our two product managers, Karina Soto and Yili Wang, and they will be presenting and doing the demonstration today. And before we get started, as you probably all know, Treasure Data was acquired by our ARM Holdings this past year. And we're really, really excited about all the opportunities that we're going to have as a part of ARM's family of products. But this really isn't a change in direction for us. Rather, what we're seeing is a huge enthusiasm across the company for our business and for the customer data platform product. So this is really just going to accelerate our timelines for our current CDP vision. It's definitely not going to be a pivot for us at all. And when we come to talk about the customer data platform, what you're seeing here is really just a view of how we look at the platform altogether and holistically. And this just sort of helps us guide our roadmap. It's a view of the way the product is today and how it's represented through the process, taking people through collecting all of their data, unifying it into solid, complete customer profiles, analyzing that through tools in our audience suite, and activating that back out through integration and connectors that we develop on the platform. So this is just a way to kind of articulate where we're going, where we are today. And we'll be talking a lot about the data integration pieces and the audience suite specifically. And this is a view into our Winter 19 beta features for today. So we're helping our customers build efficiency into their cross-functional customer data processes. In that regard, we have made sure that we are unifying the two parts of our product into one application that's used across the company, and also are bringing a new user experience across the board for all of our users. We've made some great enhancements to our segment builder through the audience suite, as well as have a new integrations experience that Yili will take you through, and I'll hand that off to her so she can introduce you to those new features. Take it away, Yili.
Okay, sure. So hi, I'm Yili. I'm a product manager for integrations here, and we're investing in redesigning the entire integration experience so that it's easier to bring data in and out of Treasure Data. We've gotten a lot of feedback, so we want to provide a new experience within the next several quarters. And some of these planned improvements include a complete rehaul of the connections and data transfers management experience for all your source integrations. Also, we plan to make it easier to configure data transfers so that it's a lot easier to bring in data. And finally, we want to develop new features such as testing your authentication credentials, so it's a lot easier now to make sure that you have the right credentials when you're creating a connection. So I wanted to go over a few slides over how the new experience will look like potentially. So for the first one is you can manage your integrations more easily. So we're going to have a page where you can see all the integrations you installed in one centralized location. So it's a lot easier to manage all the integrations that you've connected to. Secondly, it'll be a lot easier to organize your authentications or connections. You'll be able to see all the transfers associated with a single authentication, so you can manage your authentications more easily. Also, you can manage your data transfers. We'll have features like run history, where you can see if the past data transfers have been running successfully. And then finally, we'll have features where we'll simplify your data transfer configuration. We'll make this transfer scheduling more easier, so it's a lot easier to create a scheduled data transfer. So we're currently in the process of designing the new experience. So if you're interested in providing feedback before we start our beta program, please reach out to your customer success rep to let them know, and we'll be happy to work with you to get your feedback into the product before we release it to our beta program. Okay, thank you. And now I'll be passing it off to Karina.
Hi, I'm Karina Soto. I'm working on the product team here at Treasure Data, focusing on our segmentation suite. So I'm going to go into a live demonstration of our new global navigation. Awesome. So here you can see our new console. This combines both our CDP, our segmentation tool, along with our data workbench. So now there will be one URL to access all the different tools within Treasure Data. So the main screen is our jobs activity page. As you notice, you can see the global navigation has switched. Everything is located on the left-hand side. On the left side, you can see where the integrations are, all the different sources you have currently integrated, your different authentications, along with the catalog where you could create new sources to pull in data from. On the left-hand side, we also have our data workbench. This is where you'll set up most of your queries, your workflows, along with your databases. Now, the biggest change here is we have our profile sets located here as well. And this is where you will go to create your profile set and set up your master table and configure the different attributes and behaviors you want to pull in. So this is all located under the Data Workbench tab. Once you configure a profile set, you could go into our Profiles tab, and this is where you create your segment. So on the drop-down, you could search for the specific profile set you previously created, and you could set up your folders here to organize your different segments. And here you can see a few examples of segments that are pre-created. This is where you will build your actual segment and add different rules based off the behaviors and attributes that you want to pull in. Now you can see in this example on the right-hand side, you have all the profiles that fall into that specific segment. And if you click into an example profile, you can see the different campaigns that this user is associated to and all the activities that that user has. So this is the easy view to check to make sure that the profiles you create fall into the specific segments that you set up. You could also see your profiles under this tab and see a list of all the profiles within that specific profile set.
And on the left-hand side, you also have your predictive scoring, where you can set up new models to assist with predictive scoring. And you have all the API tokens available here as well. We also have some additional tools on the left-hand side. If you have any feedback, you could submit a aha idea, and that will be sent directly to the Treasure Data team, and we could collect feedback from you there. We also have live chat available. If you have any questions, you can reach out to our support team via this live chat. And then our documentation, support tickets, release notes, and system statuses are located on the left-hand side as well. We also have our admin tool on the bottom left, where you can see your profile, your team members, and then your admin setup as well. So this is the new global nav. This is currently in beta right now. Now I will jump back into the presentation and go over our beta process. Right, so there's a few different stages of our beta process. We have private alpha, public beta, and GA, general availability. Private alpha, we send out the beta to a few limited clients, and this is while we're still continuing doing testing, so there will be some small updates that will happen. Right now, as of today, we are launching our public beta, so that will be available to all our existing customers. They can have access to the new global navigation, and if there's any questions, we have support assistance available. During this public beta, there might be a few small tweaks that will update to the global nav, but everything should be pretty much the same. And the next phase will be general availability, which will be January 2019 for the new global nav. So that will be available to all Treasure Data accounts in January. So specifically to this new global navigation beta, the process will look like below. So for the first week, we'll launch the public beta to your account if you are interested. The following week, we will do a client meeting to collect any feedback. So we'll set up a call between you, customer success, and product team to collect any feedback you may have on the global navigation. During the next few weeks, you will continue to use the new nav, and we'll set up a follow-up meeting on the third week to collect any additional feedback. And as I mentioned earlier, the GA launch will be January 2019 for all clients to have the new global navigation available. So here's a few FAQs. Let's say you want to be part of this beta. Who do you reach out to? So if you would like to be part of this beta, you can reach out to product_beta@treasuredata.com or reach out to your dedicated customer success manager, and they will set you up with the beta. Let's say you're on the new beta on the global nav and you run into a bug, who should you reach out to? You can reach out to our support team, support@treasuredata.com, and they will assist you and fix the item as soon as possible. And let's say you wanted to switch back to the old UI, that is an option. However, we are pushing the global navigation live to all our clients in January 2019. So the switch will be in January 2019 to the new global navigation for all clients. And if you have any feedback, you can reach out to your dedicated customer success manager, and they will facilitate all the feedback. And we will also set up a feedback session with you and our CS team and product team to collect any feedback you have on the new global nav. Awesome. So moving on, we have a sneak peek on some new features that we're releasing in 2019. One of them is the policy-based permissions, which will allow you to set up permissions on different areas of Treasure Data to specific users. And we also have our segmentation dashboard, which will show high-level stats on the different segments you create within our platform. So here's how the policy-based permissions will look in your platform. Under the admin tool, you would see these different policies, and you will apply permissions to a specific policy. So the permissions will be based on the different tabs we have available in our platform. So you'll be able to set up permissions based off workflows, data workbenches, and segmentation, and specific folders within segmentations that will allow users to either create or activate certain segments within the platform. Now we have these applied to policies, so you can make a few policies and apply multiple users to a specific policy. So this will enable you to easily create permissions and allow you to apply a meta policy, so you don't have to apply permissions for each specific user, which will be very cumbersome. So this will help streamline that process. Now moving on to our segmentation dashboard, this is a high-level overview of a specific profile set that you configure. So you can select the time frame that you want to see the results for. You can select last week, month, quarter, or a specific date range. And the below chart will populate based off the time frame you selected. You can see the total volume and day over day how that master segment has performed. And in the middle chart, if you select the growth rate, you can see day over day how that percentage changed for that specific master segment. So this is a great view to help monitor your segments and see how those change over time. Now we also have another chart that allows you to compare multiple segments. So you'll be able to compare up to 4 segments at once and see how those different segments perform in relation to another. This is a great view to help with A/B testing, so you can create multiple segments and see which one is the best performer, has the most profiles in that specific segment. So that's a quick snapshot of everything we are releasing for 2019. We're still in early phases of this, so we'd love to gather any feedback that you may have on this.
Fantastic. Thank you, Karina and Yili. It was short, but it was sweet, and it was a great preview into what's coming up next in our roadmap. We're really looking forward to people participating in the beta program. So again, please download the slide deck. It's got that FAQ with all of your contacts listed and questions answered. If you have any questions and need to get those into us, please feel free to type those into the questions console, or the console under the questions tab for us, and we'll get to those. One thing that did come in for you guys was what URL am I using now for the full navigation, and moving forward, will I just need one or two? Is this URL for both the workbench and the CDP?
Right, so to answer that question, moving forward, there will be one URL that you would use. It will be console.treasuredata.com, and that will have both data workbench and segmentation unified in one URL.
Okay, great. Well, it doesn't look like we're having any other questions come through. Love to be able to give people some time back in their day. Again, it was short but sweet, and we look forward to bringing you more of these informational webinars as we move forward with our roadmap. Thanks so much for joining us today, and have a wonderful one.